Hey there, Michael Greenwood here. So, if you find that you're actually kind of living the same 6 months again and again, and you're not really making progress, then this video is for you. So, I'm going to kind of distill this down into 3 steps to actually get ahead and get done the thing that you actually plan to do. So if you're continuously planning and writing things down like to-do lists and things like that, but you're kind of procrastinating on things, and you never really seem to get much further forward with whatever it is. It could be going to the gym. It could be, you're not seeing the gains in that area, or it could be with work or with business or with anything really, where you're setting goals and you just want to get the thing done, but old habits kind of creep in. So this video is for you. Right, so no long intros or anything like that. No editing. We're just going to get stuck straight in with the value. Right, so this is about planting seeds. So not literally like going out and gardening and growing tomatoes or anything like that, but as an analogy, as a metaphor, I'm going to talk about planting seeds and how you'll plant seeds, and then later on you'll see the green shoots, and then a bit later you'll start to see kind of little plants, and they'll grow into big plants and all that kind of thing. So that's what it's all about. It's about consistently planting and nurturing and growing, and not expecting results straight away. And actually, it's about delayed gratification rather than instant gratification, and that's the way that you're actually going to get things done. And it all starts with the little inputs that you actually do every day. But how do you know which inputs are the right inputs to do? Right, so here's the thing. If you can find somebody, whether it's in a book, like a non-fiction book, some kind of autobiography, or some kind of self-improvement book or business book, or somebody who's great at going to the gym and has got really good results, the kind of results that you want to get, then that would be a good first step. So to find a mentor, whether it's indirectly through a book where you're just reading their words and then starting to implement yourself, or actually finding somebody who's further ahead than you as a mentor, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now the thing is, a lot of these kind of coaching programs and all that kind of thing, they are literally just kind of reading the book out to you, kind of thing, and you could just end up reading the book and implementing and getting ahead that way. But I mean, a lot of us need that helping hand. They need that accountability as well, which is also a big part of coaching, and all part of that done with you type of service that is provided from a coaching program. And I know there's a difference between mentoring and coaching, the two different things. I'm not getting them mixed up. So if you do consistent inputs every day over a long enough time horizon and don't give up, then it's unreasonable to not get results, by doing those things. But the thing is, sometimes something can creep into your mind which says, right, am I on the right path? And that's where it starts to kind of all collapse in terms of the effort that you've made and the momentum that you've built. So this video is going to teach you how to not do that. So if you follow these steps, this is how we're going to do it, so we know that we're on the right track. Right, so how do you know that you're on the right track? So these 3 simple activities, which are simple, but they're actually, because you've got to do them consistently over time, they're not easy, but they are simple when you break them down. So let's say that you've got a goal. You've got to have a goal. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have activity levels. Those are the three things that you need in order to get anything done, really. So you've got to have a goal. So what do you want to do? So you want to make £1 million. You want to make £10 million. You want to make £100,000. Whatever it is you want to make, you want to make 10 grand a month. That's a goal. Yeah, that's something you want to do. And you can do things like get motivated by finding out what your why is. What are you actually going to do with that money? What do you actually want? What would you do if you had all the money in the world? What would you actually do with your time and all that kind of thing? But that's a separate exercise. But actually just writing down what your goal is, what you want. So you want to have 6-pack abs. You want to have £1 million or 10 million or whatever it is. Whatever it is, that's the goal. Yeah. And then you've got to have a plan on how to actually get to the thing. And I think one of the best ways of putting that plan together is by just learning from somebody who's already done the thing. Like I said, either indirectly through a non-fiction book that they've written, or directly from them, or perhaps you don't have the money to pay, the person who's done the 10 million, but you can find somebody who's further ahead than you and pay them the money. Because you're going to pay for that lack of knowledge with either your time or money, essentially. And you can, when I say pay for it with your time, you could figure out how to do it, make all the mistakes that other person's already made. And by paying it for it with your money, what I mean is you could just pay somebody the money, to tell you what the next steps are, and then the next step after that, once you've got the plan, is to actually do the activity levels. So if you think about it, it's quite simple, but it's actually kind of hard to do, because you're gonna, as you set out to do something that you've never done before, you're gonna have all kinds of red alerts going off in your mind, things like that, saying, is this the right path? Is this what you don't? Is this really for you? Why are you stressing yourself out? Why don't you just do what you've always done and get the same results? But when you actually write things down that you're going to do, and then make a promise to yourself that you're going to do it, as in a plan, as in a promise to yourself, and even put your signature on it and things like that, you going into a contract with yourself. There's all different kinds of techniques for doing it. You don't have to necessarily do it that way, but if you just write down what you're going to do and then look at it every day, that can keep you focused on the goals. And like I said, the goal might be making so much extra money every year. It might be having a beautiful lady, finding a nice girlfriend or wife or whatever, having a family, etc., having kids and all that kind of thing. But in order to get that, the person must plan to do that. Must make a solid plan. So you're going to have kids. How are you going to pay for bringing up the kids? How are you going to, pay for the university if they're going to go to university? Help them with the first car, whatever you're going to do. So there's lots of different things that you need to plan for. So it is about getting that planning muscle going, and making sure that you're putting a plan in action rather than just doing kind of activity levels, which is without a plan and without a goal in mind. Because at the end of the day, in this world, if you just kind of don't have goals and you don't know how to get there, then you're going to end up kind of following somebody else's plan for you anyway, because you're going to be, following some other leader. So first rule for me of leadership is to actually adopt the principles of self leadership and actually, lead ourselves to start to, put one foot in front of the other, and to start to actually get ahead in that kind of way before we could even start to do things like leverage other people's time, build a team, get there faster by getting people to help us with it. But if we can't lead ourselves, we can't lead other people. So one of the founding principles that I follow is is to practice self leadership, and that all starts in the mind. It starts with thoughts, which become actions. So at the end of the day, if a person has a big goal, but doesn't have a plan, then they need to pay for the knowledge with either the time or the money, like I said. And focus is as much about elimination of activities as well. So, like your old self, your old mind, the subconscious, whatever, however you want to think about that, you're in a routine, you're in an habit, and that habit is leading you to living in an automated way. Because if I lift my arm, for example, like this, then there's lots of things going on at the same time. Plus, my body is keeping me breathing, keeping my heart beating. I'm not thinking about all these things. These are all little, like, programmed in routines. And when you've done something again and again and again and again, then your body is your mind, your subconscious is very clever and writes these sub routines for you, so you don't have to think about them. So it's less operational load, less kind of cognitive load to think about when you're doing all these things. So, but that can work against you. If you want to change and you want to do things differently, then you've got to reprogram, and that's what it's all about, really. So if it's outside of your comfort zone to to go to the gym because you've not been doing it, then just do it regularly, and then you'll build up not just momentum, but a routine, but not just the discipline to do it, but the actual programming, the subroutines, so that you're just doing it naturally. Then, like the planning, like everything else. So think about it this way: not everything's kind of black and white and objective with this kind of thing. But let's say you've got habits that serve you and habits that don't serve you, or you can call them good habits or bad habits. But it's not quite as simple as good habits and bad habits, because you might you might like to drink alcohol. I mean, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I've not drunk alcohol for nearly 2 years because it just wasn't serving me anymore. So for some people, that might be an habit that they enjoy. For me, it's not a good habit. It'd be a bad habit. So I eliminated that, and that's made room for other things. So when you're looking at getting ahead and being an highly effective individual, it is a process of elimination. So it is watching probably less TV, less Netflix, less or no alcohol, not smoking cigarettes, not doing drugs, not doing all that kind of thing. Because if you're doing one thing, you're doing that instead of something else. Whether you think you can multitask or not, it's still something that's taking up headspace. Even down to the things that are around you, the design of your environment. It all comes down to things are going to take up space in your head. Things. So if you've got things in your house that you don't use, you've got to dust them to get rid of the dust. You've got to clean. You've got to find a space for them. You've got to maintain the space for them. You've got to maintain the item itself, and it's all taking up your focus and attention. So it is all about focus. It's as much about eliminating activities that don't serve you as it is about adding new things to do. So I'd say one of the first things is actually write down what you want to do. So follow that 3-step process that I've explained, which is setting a goal, having a plan, and having activity levels. And if you can't write down on paper how you are going to, and you might not know exactly, I'm not saying you know exactly what's going to happen at what time and all that kind of thing in your plan, over the next, if it's, let's put some meat on the bone. If in the next 12 months you want to double your income, for example, or if you want to, as Bob Proctor says, for example, make your yearly income your monthly income in a certain time scale, then write that down first. Write your goal down. That's the first thing, and then it's almost like everything else starts to fit into place. And if you look at have some goal cards, so you just write down what you want, and then you just look at it a couple of times a day. You meditate on it. Meditate every day to clear your mind. How do you meditate? It's literally about thinking about nothing, and if something comes into your mind, just kind of don't think about it. Just, don't give it attention. Just keep focusing. And then it is all about mental calmness. Reaching a Zen-like state, essentially. So you're nice and calm. So because when you're trying to work and things start to come into your mind, with other things that are that want your attention, you're not going to focus on the thing and get into flow-based work. So that's why meditating is a really good practice, to actually just take everything out of your mind and get. It's the discipline of it that's the important thing, where things are coming to your mind, you just don't think about them, just ignore them, just focus on thinking about nothing, just having a nothing in your mind, no thoughts or anything like that. Things will come in, but you just kind of cast them away, that kind of thing. And then later that day, when you're working, you sat at your desk working, then you'll find that things are coming into your mind, like, oh, I want to go on Facebook. So that's your subconscious, like your old habits. I want to go on Facebook and just scroll and get the dopamine and all that kind of thing. You'll be able to cast that away just like you did as you were meditating. But it takes practice. It takes practice. It'll change it'll change your life if you meditate. And people can actually do whatever they put their mind to, but the thing is, they'll be, and you can keep pushing, keep learning. It's all about lifelong learning, and it is about having personal accountability, having a mindset, having a curious mindset, and having a problem solving, critical thinking, self-leadership focused mindset as well, where you're actually in control of your mind, to the extent that if you give yourself an instruction, you actually do the thing, and you don't let yourself down. So you're making an agreement with yourself to do the thing, to do the thing. So you set a goal. Say if it's going to be double your income or make whatever you're making in a year every month, something like that. Then you write it down and then you start to plan it. And if you don't know how to get there, you start to study. You start to study people who've done that thing in your particular niche or area, or whatever business you do, or whatever job you do as well. If you want to get a promotion, study that person, those people who've done that job that you want to be promoted into. It's not just about business. If you want to get that six-pack or broader shoulders or whatever it is, study the diets of people. And the other thing, when I talk about elimination as well, stop listening to people who haven't done it, who haven't done the thing. Stop taking advice from people who perhaps are jealous of you as well, who say, oh, why are you going to the gym? Why don't you just relax a bit? Why don't you just have a drink of alcohol, let your hair down, have a nice blowout or whatever. Just, don't work so hard. And then they'll try like the cognitive dissonance stuff. So, for example, you only live once. Go out and just have. Just do this, just do that. Have an extra couple of hours in bed, and sleep is like one of the most important things. But just get to bed early, just get to bed on time, so you can get up and do the thing. And it is all about habit stacking and making sure that you're starting to be around a circle of people, whether they're online, whether it's the content that you consume. You start to curate your own reality, so you're not listening to the stuff that doesn't serve you. You're listening to the stuff that does serve you. And I'm not judging. I'm not saying what's good and bad. I'm just saying, based on what you want to do in your life, and it's your life, and it's important that you live it in a way that you want to live it, as long as it's ethical, as long as it's legal, and all that kind of thing. I'm not saying just do whatever you want, not anarchy or anything like that, but do what your heart tells you to do. So yeah, a person can do whatever they put their mind to, and trust me, it all starts in the mind. So the person should start to really be careful about the inputs that are going into the brain, because the inputs that come in, they come out as actions. That's really important. So definitely curate your reality. For me, it's about doing things like having that nice peaceful time when I'm doing some meditation, when I'm driving in the car. Then there'll be no radio on, no mainstream music or anything like that. It'll be either silence with my own, just being comfortable with myself, or it'll be non-fiction audiobooks on Audible, where I'm consuming information that I can then implement. So it's keeping me on the right track, keeping me focused on my goals. Just there's something called the look this up if you've not heard of it before, but the reticular activating system, which is that it's very important to be aware of that. So I'll just leave you with that. Have a look. I might do a video on that as well. And if you just focus on what's just keep on track, basically. Just write down your goal. You can write down why you're doing it as well. I think that's important. A bit out of scope of this video. I just want to keep it simple with the set a goal, what you want. You can ask yourself, if you want more money, you can start to ask yourself why you want more money. But if you want more money, don't you? Maybe you're kind of stuck in a hole and you need money for rent or mortgage or anything like that. You just want more money. You don't want to be, worrying about money. So that's why you want it. Sometimes this stuff's obvious, so you don't have to dig too deep. You just want money, don't you? Or you want a relationship, or you want to be an improved, the best possible version of yourself, all that kind of thing. So you can dig into that, and it's important to get to the root of it a lot of the time. But if you're just starting out and you want to make some more money, a lot of the time it's just you just don't want to be poor. You want to be able to take care of your family and stuff like that. So you can think about it on a deep level, but at the end of the day, the goal is to make money. The goal is to have good health. The goal is to have a good relationship with your family and friends. These are the goals, basically. These are what many people want, and then it's the plan, it's the action. So if you're in business now, and listen to this, if you're not leveraging, you're not using leverage, that's one of the main things. Focus on leverage. So if you're doing anything that's kind of below your pay grade or whatever, below what you could be making, that somebody else could do, that free you up, where you could buy your time back by setting somebody on to do that thing, then I start to think about doing that like ASAP, so you can start to think about the bigger picture rather than stay down there in the weeds kind of thing, doing the same 6 months over and over again. If that sounds like you, if you look back 2 years, you've been doing the same thing, making the same money, even if you think everything's been done to you, and that there's no hope and things like that. In terms of making more money or anything like that. If you just start to take a step back and start to get some quick wins under your belt by starting to do some activities which are based on a plan, which are based on planning what you're going to do tomorrow, today, things like that, and actually start to set a goal for 12 months or whatever it is, 18 months, 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is. Plan it in whichever steps you're comfortable with at this time, and the strategic, tactical, operational planning, all that kind of stuff. But you set your goals that work for you. Set a goal. Set a plan to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, learn how to do it. And then set some activity levels and do the thing every day consistently. Just do the thing. Whether you want to get some more business into your digital marketing agency, you need to make whatever you're going to do, whether it's cold calling, Facebook DMs, cold email marketing, Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever you're going to do. You're going to do a YouTube channel, whatever it is, start it and just keep doing it. And then you might notice that people will start saying, why are you doing that? Or, and especially when you're not getting results for a while. When you think in terms of on a longer time horizon, there's a compound effect, there's a cumulative effect. So just stick with the thing, because because you've done your research, you've read the non-fiction books, you've maybe got a mentor, you've got a coach, you know it can be done. Yeah. You can pay people to tell you exactly what to do, and then you just have to do it. But there's always that doubt that creeps into the mind, and you've got to ignore that doubt. Just do the thing. Just keep doing it consistently over time. The people who do things consistently over time, consistency, have the discipline, they're the people who get ahead with things. And just consider what I said about elimination as well. If you're trying to charge forward on multiple fronts, do lots of things at once, and you're skipping between things as well, that's another problem. So the elimination thing, really important. So if you're trying to do lots of different things and you're only getting a little bit ahead on each one, try to cut some things out so you're getting better at some other things. And then you'll make more progress in those areas. You'll get further forward in those areas. For example, if you're offering graphic design as a service to local businesses, for example, and you also and you're doing it for 10 different niches. If you just did it for one particular niche, like accountants, for example, so you're just going to do graphic design for accountants now, yeah. And you can get one case study from an accountant, then another. And then imagine the experience that an accountant will have coming into your funnel, going onto your landing pages and seeing all the testimonials versus them just seeing like a scattergun approach. Oh, I've worked with them, and okay, well, that skill might be transferable. So that's another way of thinking, where you're starting to focus in. So you chip away at one area rather than trying to chip away at multiple areas and not really making any progress. Because when you start to make the progress and you start to see the progress, that's where it gives you a positive feedback loop to get stuck in more and do more. And it's going to be difficult to do. When you get, if you don't focus on one area, it's difficult to make progress in any area, really. So have a think about that. And nothing wrong with I know the graphic design accountant analogy. Once you've worked with those, you can work with another, you can start another thing and all that kind of thing. But just initially, when you're starting out, is what I'm saying, where you just want to focus on one thing. You just give your focus to one thing, one customer avatar, so one persona, in terms of marketing. So one type of prospect, one type of client, one thing, and then create all your systems and processes around that, and you can start to penetrate that market with that thing. Same with anything else. If you're redoing your website, and you try to do it all at once, you work on this page a bit, you go and edit this video for this, and then you go to this bit, nothing's going to get done. Try and finish one thing, and then you can move on to the next thing. So do it until it's finished, move on to the next thing. Right, so that's all I've got for you on this video. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you next time.